This is a little bit more theoretical, but it will help you to understand the idea of truth. What is truth? Of course, the whole concept of truth is such a huge philosophical issue, but we can simplify this. So there's different theories of truth. Let's first take a couple of theories that are essentially bullshit and have nothing to do with truth. The first one is a theory of coherence. So the theory of coherence would say that if you have a piece of information and it fits into like an overall framework of knowledge, there's a body of knowledge and then this piece just fits in there, then it's true. Yeah? If it doesn't fit, then it's not true. And there's something to it, right? We want our conceptual frameworks to cohere, right? We want it to be whole, and we don't want contradictions within our conceptual framework. But the problem with the theory of coherence is that any conspiracy theory can be coherent. You just put together a bunch of things that go together and they be complete bullshit, complete story. Any myth will be coherent, anything. So it has nothing to do with truth really in the end. Okay, so we have the coherence theory of truth out. Another theory of truth that is out there is the theory of agreement, or the theory of consensus. That essentially, theory of consensus is that if people agree, the more people agree on it, the more true it is. You know, another theory that's completely bullshit, because people can agree on all kinds of things. You can have any kind of theory, and this will not make it true. And now, again, take conspiracy theories, and you will see that a lot of people here in this sphere of the world agree that this conspiracy theory is true. They call it true, you know, but that doesn't make it true at all. Whole cultures believe in stuff that is not true. Our culture believes in stuff that is not true. We have theories of psychotherapy that don't have enough self-reflection or self-examination, and they believe that they are the true theories. There are theories of how we work and how human mind works, and there are theories of spirituality. All these theories, you know, a lot of people might agree, groups agree, religions. There's all kinds of theories. In any case, agreement or consensus, out. That has nothing to do with truth. So we go back to the most basic theory of truth, and the only one that we really have is a theory of correspondence, yeah? So the theory of correspondence is basic semiotics. There's always, any act of meaning-making or truth-making has to have two layers. One is, what are we talking about? Yeah? And then the other layer is the fact that we are talking about it. Yeah? So there's the language, the stories, and then there's reality. Okay? So you have these walls, the rain, beautiful rain here, the mist, the grass there, and then I am talking about the rain. These are words, sounds coming out of my mouth. Yeah, so this is the symbolic system. Traditionally, up until 18th century, up until 20th century actually, what people argued about is not whether the reality exists and all that. People assumed reality exists and they just argued which map is better. No, you should talk like this about it. No, you should talk like this about it. So people were more arguing about which story is better, never really questioning that the reality exists. Then comes the 20th century with all kinds of philosophical and developments in physics, and that's where things started falling apart, because then people say, well, they always bring that silly example from quantum physics, that the position of a particle cannot be determined, so it's everywhere with different probabilities. It's somewhere here, probably less likely here, and for you to determine the position of that particle, you have to hit it with another particle. So like an observer, you know, there's an observing particle. So then they make a big deal. Oh my God, look, it's the observer that creates reality. Reality doesn't even exist without the observer. It's the moment of observation that creates reality. So in that same way, we could say it's the moment that we speak about something that something comes to existence, which really honestly is a complete fucking bullshit. In some way, there's something to it, of course. But we cannot question reality. If we start questioning reality, that makes absolutely no sense. How will we ever agree on anything if we say that reality doesn't even exist? All that exists is stories, and then each story creates a different reality, and then, well, how do you determine which story is true? Then the whole concept of truth is gone. That's what postmodernism did, essentially. Destroyed reality and privileged the map, privileged the language, right?